Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 17 of Jux and All Things Sports podcast, presented by Always Bullin. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, hit the follow button and drop a rating for us. Big week of football happened. Playoffs are settled. Wild card round this weekend. Unfortunately for the boys, dominoes didn't fall the right way after Saturday night. I feel bad talking about a Jags win and a Jags advancing to the playoffs, but I will, and I'll get more into it later. But I do feel bad that all three of our teams won their games, did what they needed to do to get to the playoffs. All of our teams finished 9-8.
That's the part that stinks.
And the other teams didn't do what they needed to do for you guys. So I feel bittersweet talking about a Jags win and talking about a Jags playoff appearance. But we will jump into it. I'll talk about the other Thursday game first, just so we've got a little bit of a transition. I guess it's not major, but Chiefs throw a hurting down on the Raiders. Raiders seem to be in rebuild mode now. Do you think Davante Adams stays put throughout the offseason? Anybody?
Stays put.
Yeah, you think he's a Raider next year?
It depends, I think, on who his quarterback's gonna be. Wait, is he like gone, or
I mean,
is this up to the Raiders?
they'd have to trade him. I think he just signed an extension. Well, he just signed with them. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't get traded.
I didn't know how long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, long.
It was more than a year.
Yeah.
Then I think he's still there.
You don't think the Raiders move him?
No.
No.
They're in
I don't
rebuild
think
mode.
so.
No, their offense is so skilled, dude.
With Davante, yeah.
Waller, Renfro,
Hmm.
and
You're
Josh
not-
Jacobs is out, I guess.
You're not tipping the
Yeah,
scales for me here.
They're in a bad spot for sure.
Yeah,
So
so-
you think he's gone? I didn't think we were gonna go Raiders direction. I thought we were gonna talk a little Chiefs. So you did throw me off with the Devonte Adams.
Well,
talk.
think about
I'm not
it.
gonna
Like, they signed Davante Adams because he was supposed to be the missing piece to that offense. He was supposed to be what got them over a playoff hump. It's not Davante's fault. I'm not saying correlation equals causation. But they stunk this year, and they're moving on from Derek Carr with no replacement ready and looking right now. They don't have their next guy up right now. Davante Adams wasn't a let's sign him for our future and build around him. That's why I'm saying maybe he's out. Get the picks. See where I went that way? Does that make sense?
It's a tough.
Makes
It does.
sense. I just don't see them getting rid of the best wide receiver in the league. Like, they just got him last year.
Yeah, but what you need him to be bad? Might as well get the picks.
Yeah, we think differently.
We do. Whatever. What do you have for the Chiefs? You thought we were going the Chiefs way? I mean, Mahomes came out
they're
at
in
halftime.
They're the one seed. in
Yeah,
the
I mean,
AFC.
of course, it's
You-
Mahomes.
Well, do you think he's gonna win the Super Bowl?
When I look at the playoff breakout for both sides, the NFC almost seems like anybody's to win. And I have a little playoff spiel I might go into later, but we'll see. The NFC is just kind of like, anybody can have a good game and might pop off on that. I'm looking at the Jags schedule, for example. There's a chance we beat the Chiefs or the Chargers. We beat them before. We did it earlier in the season. Mike Williams might be out again too. We can beat the Chiefs. We can. I think it'll be a good game. But then we play the Chiefs after that, and it's like something crazy would have to happen. We're not going to outplay the Chiefs.
Or the Bills.
We might. We beat the Bills last year 9-6.
Oh my god.
When I look at the Chiefs, it's not. I don't see a world that the Jags can stop them. I'm not saying it's Chiefs then Jags. I think a lot of teams are. I don't think anyone else in the AFC can stop them right now, except maybe the Bengals. So I think you got a Bengals Chiefs two-way race out of the AFC, and then I think it's anybody's game in the NFC.
I think right now, fantastic time to take the Chiefs for the Super Bowl.
If you, if you can get good odds, yeah,
Well, you're not going to get any better if they keep winning games.
it's true. It's true. It's probably
So now you know they have the bye.
Yep.
And no offense, Bark, but even
No, it's
if
okay.
the Chargers win
Yep.
against Jags, I think they're better than both teams.
Oh yeah.
And they lose to both teams, yes. But I think Mahomes at home in Arrowhead is not going to lose.
It's not going to lose.
In the divisional round, and I think he's kind of walking into the AFC Championship.
Oh yeah. It'll be Chiefs Bengals. Why do you keep saying this, Gnar? I know what you're going to say, but I just don't agree with it.
Why don't you think the Bills can do it?
I mean,
They have home field advantage.
They haven't
They
done
play
it
the
yet.
Chiefs. And if they play the Chiefs, they're not going to Arrowhead. They beat the Chiefs this year.
no, I'm
in
talking
Arrowhead.
playoff. Josh Allen hasn't gotten it done yet. I don't think it's going to start this season.
He balled out last year.
Did he go to the
And
Super
lost.
Bowl?
He still lost against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Due to a fucking coin flip. If the
I know,
coin
but it
flips on
always
the other
happens.
side,
Mahomes beats Josh
Yep.
Allen every year,
Mhm.
and until I see otherwise, I'm not betting
Yeah.
otherwise.
you saw otherwise this year. He already did it.
Yes, I did. But not,
Both teams full strength in Arrowhead.
It's
Josh Allen wins.
Are we
The
we
playoffs are
decided on where
different,
it's going to be
man.
played yet? If it's those two teams,
neutral site, I thought.
it's just not going to be Ford Field.
I've heard
because-
MetLife or Acrisure.
I don't know. I think it's the Chiefs to lose.
Yes, agreed. And I can see your Bills take. Obviously, they're the 2 seed, but like, I think right now,
They always do. in
maybe
the
they have a
regular
little
season.
bit momentum. Maybe Naheem Hines just like, all right, get on my back. Let's
Could be
do
the
it for-
Damar
for
Hamlin,
yeah,
the Damar
it could
Hamlin
be the-
tour.
The stupid, like Kevin Ware.
Um,
Remember that shit, Bach?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, obviously,
Well-
you can compare those two injuries,
Well,
but
kind.
like,
I mean, one guy shattered his leg. The other guy almost died. Was
Yeah.
dead.
so like, that would be awful. Or it wouldn't be awful. I
Well-
was just thinking about Michigan losing in the national championship, but let's just get off of it.
All right, I can talk some Jags football.
Let's move on, dude.
Jags beat the Titans. It's a lot closer than I wanted it to be. I was stressing out, but I saw a lot of encouragement in this game. Trevor Lawrence didn't play an incredible game, but he was two tough throws he's got to make, throws he should make, throws he will make eventually. He's in his second year after being mentally fucked the year before. If he makes those 2 passes that he missed, it's a Trevor Lawrence breakout game, and people wouldn't have shut up about it. But he missed 2, and that's okay. That's fine. He threw some seeds on some short ones, kept us in a game for as long as we could. But the defense that I have been hating on, and I still don't think it's benefit to Mike Caldwell. I think it's benefit of guys starting to work together. The defense showed up. Reen said it early in the game. He said, we're not going to win this game unless the defense scores a touchdown. And the reason I boost the Jags up as much as I do all the time is I think this was their second nationally televised game of the year behind the Thursday Night Football on Jets. And outside of that, you don't get Jags coverage. It's not on ESPN. It's not on ESPN2. It's not on your talk shows. It's not on Colin Cowherd. That Titans game happened. They talked about it from after the game till midnight and then stopped. Most people don't even know that it came down to that fumble that was forced on Dobbs, and they called it a fumble, not a forward pass, scoop and score touchdown. If that happens in any Sunday NFL game that had playoff implications, you'd still be hearing about it today. But that just vanished. People don't talk about this team. They don't see the things I'm seeing. They don't see the small things. They just, when people cover the Jags on TV, they look at a box score and they talk about it like that. What I saw was encouraging Jags football. Defense looked great. If we can stop Derrick Henry, who can't we stop? And I mean, they beat us on underneath routes. Our cornerbacks were playing deep coverage and giving them the short ball, which is frustrating to watch, especially when it's the Titans doing 8-minute drives down the field. Which is why I still, it's like Gnar when you're talking about Matt Canada, even when the offense has a good game. It's tough. You're like, well, the offense prevailed through bad coordinating. I think that was the case for the Jags, which I think is double encouraging. Mike Caldwell probably keeps his job. I'm confident going into the Chargers game. I would have liked to see the Ravens, though. That's what I got for you, boys.
Maybe we can hear Gnar's thoughts on the Bills, since he's pretty heavy on them against the Patriots.
Bills beat the Patriots. You needed a Bills win for the Steelers scenario to start. It's just mean big things for the Bills. They looked good.
I mean, in my mind, they had to get through the first game to be able to kind of focus back in and truthfully lock back in for an entire week rather than having only a day and a half of true preparation when they finally got the good, promising news about Gnar. Because before that happened, they weren't focused on football. And understandably so, and they shouldn't be. You know, Gmar's home now. He went back to Buffalo, got out of the hospital. Buffalo has home field advantage, and they have just as good an advantage as the Chiefs do going into this playoffs. We're set up for a superstar showdown, AFC Championship. There's nobody else that's going to do it. I don't even think the Bengals have a chance. Truthfully, going to either of those cities.
The Bengals are a wagon, dude.
Didn't they do it last year against the Chiefs?
The Bengals? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that counts, but Buffalo doesn't count this year.
It's got to be in the playoffs. It's different.
You'll see it this year.
Oh, I hope so. If you're a Bills fan, you have to see it from Josh Allen this year.
The Bills are my pick. AFC champion. They're going to the Super Bowl.
Against no. Well, let me transition here. You got the Bills as your AFC champion. Are you still riding the Vikings through to the NFC Championship game at least? You didn't say they'd win it. You said they'd make it.
To the game, yes. Let me.
People. The Lions wanted the Vikings in that first game. I think teams want to face the Vikings early now. They've looked shaky.
If they're not at 1:00, they're bad.
Jags got the Saturday night game. Shout out.
That is dope.
Actually, when do they play?
Saturday, 8:15. We'll be watching it at the cabin.
Yeah.
No. The Vikings. Oh, 4:30 on Sunday.
The NFL schedule bought us an extra 4 hours on the slopes.
Yeah. I'm glad they changed it because I wasn't going to watch the game with you guys. I was going to keep bored.
You'll go in early now, though, to watch it? You'll watch the 8:15 game?
I'll probably stay out there. Until 9.
Oh,
so, closes at 9.
So you'll catch... well, I'm leaving early, but that's understandable.
Yeah. Man, NFC is truthfully a crapshoot. I don't like San Fran.
Really? Pretty scary.
I don't know, since Christian McCaffrey has played full games.
I think we might see a Brock Purdy collapse.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I like.
Every week
you're really building me up last week when you were kind of going against the 49ers. And I was like, man.
Was it me?
If Gnar was saying that an inexperienced Brock Purdy
got to crumble eventually.
He has to.
I'm over here talking about Josh Allen being stressed by the playoffs. We're talking about Brock Purdy. Come on,
Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft.
But if it's just give the ball to Christian McCaffrey in the first 5 yards, he might not fuck up.
I don't know, man. I am betting Seahawks this week.
You're
Dude,
betting
I would-
Seahawks?
I would hate if they made it past the 49ers because I know we're the better team. All right,
Oh,
never.
They
all right, we're
beat
getting
you. They beat you in the head-to-head. That's why they went.
Lions are a better team right now.
Yes.
That's fair.
Seahawks were a better team on that day.
It's just
That
like
matters.
Michigan losing to TCU. I knew we were the better team, Bog.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. There we go.
We don't need to talk about that.
We could talk about it a little bit. Well, eventually, not.
We're
So,
really getting lost here.
Trent, do you want to
so
talk?
lost.
Do you want to talk? It's fine. This is good content. Do you want to talk about the Lions game or do you want to talk about the Seahawks game?
I would like Gnar to talk about Pittsburgh. I think they were at 1
The
o'clock.
Steelers game.
Yeah.
9-8,
hear
Mike Tomlin.
Let's go into the day, Gnar. The games haven't started yet. You got a little bit of hope, but not a lot. The Bills are definitely going to win against the Patriots. You're not very confident in the Jets, and you put the money in the bank on the Steelers. So obviously, it all came down to this Dolphins-Jets game. Honestly, I wasn't really watching the 1 o'clock games.
What?
It was an awful game.
I couldn't. I was on our way back.
That's right.
I was on our way back.
Yep.
But I know having faith in the Jets last week was pretty rough for the Lions fans. How was watching the Dolphins-Jets game?
Just brutal. All I saw was on Red Zone, so truthfully, there was no on there because the game ended as 11-6. It was just tough because they were so fucking close. It was a one-score game from start to finish. And the Dolphins got the stop when they needed to, got a 40-yard drive going and kicked a field goal. And the Jets just could not answer to save their life. Joe Flacco looked old. And I know Mike White had an awful week last week. But I think Mike White gets the Steelers in the playoffs.
I'm going to miss Joe Flacco, though. What a guy.
Super Bowl MVP.
What a guy, dude. But I think this game is his time to hang it up game.
If he would have went nuts, do you think a team signs him as a good backup just based off of this game? I know
If you
TMT talked about it a little
win, I think the Jets re-sign him. If he just gets the win and plays okay, but 6-11 against Skylar Thompson and the Dolphins, gotta get a touchdown. Gotta get at least one.
Yeah, one touchdown they win.
So I mean,
Career.
that was
They
a
went to
close
OT.
game.
If they score a touchdown, they win.
That was a close game. Seahawks Rams was a close game. Arguably more stressful.
Oh yeah.
Jets Dolphins was tough because, like Gnar said, I was watching Red Zone, so you were just sitting there waiting for stuff to happen, and it wasn't. So I don't know. So Gnar, thoughts on the Steelers game then to round out the season above 500?
Yeah, I mean, that being said, Jets can't get it done. Were the Steelers ever going to go in Buffalo next week and pull off a win?
Chance.
Probably not.
Chance.
But could they fuck around and make it close? Absolutely. I think the biggest loss from this season, or from this past week with the Jets, is not giving Kenny and that young core just that try, the experience of going to the playoffs and figuring out what that team was actually made of, because they've improved drastically in the last 5 weeks, but they haven't played a true top-tier team to really see where they're at. So I would have liked to at least have that chance against the Bills to gauge my sights on what I'm looking at next year.
If you had TJ all season, we're not even talking what ifs.
7-2 with TJ.
Yeah.
Isn't that gross?
What were you, 2-6 after you started the streak?
2-6, and then TJ got fully healthy.
2-6.
Isn't that disgusting?
Lions were 1-6. I don't remember what the Jags were early, but it wasn't great. We were all talking draft picks on here.
Oh yeah.
We were all
like top 5.
We were all talking at least in the 10s. Lions still get a pick from the Rams, which is nice. I think that's sitting at 6 right now.
Yeah, it's not moving either.
It's not moving either. But Train, Seahawks Rams game. whirlwind of emotions. Refs get the blame again. I'm not saying it's not well deserved. It just seems like same scenarios that we normally see from the Lions, but it just happened in an entirely different game that still
different
kept
team.
the Lions out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's like the Lions got lioned,
It's
but it was from the Rams.
like Lions
Or-
by proxy.
yes, indirectly. But yeah, this game I thought the Rams, and when I say we, the Rams, we had no shot at. Early on in the game, Seahawks offense looked bad, especially Geno throwing a couple picks to Jalen, and then a call that I thought was going to ruin our season, being the Lions, was the unnecessary roughness by Jalen Ramsey out of bounds on Geno, who just ran into him. And then DK put his, he was like throwing Jalen, and then we get the penalty, and I was like, how does that even make any sense? If you go back and look
Geno
at
was
that at
hardly
all.
making a move towards out of bounds. He's almost cutting
yeah.
up.
Right, and how do you he just stood there? Does he have to get out of? It's football. It's football. People get hit. It didn't look like he did it on purpose or tried to hurt Geno, and then DK goes and does that. Nevertheless, they kick the field goal, hits the post, and I was like, the Lions are going to make the playoffs because if that happens, then we're definitely getting in. Then
thought
Baker
that-
Mayfield
yeah.
happened, which. Oh, I mean, how do you have your hopes? I mean, it's just almost as bad as wanting the Jets to win.
And
It
of
just-
course it was Quandre too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
who
was
stepped
gonna
out of
bring
bounds
that up.
so early, and I was so
I
happy.
thought- Yeah.
I mean, obviously you throw a pick and you're not happy, but I was like, why didn't he run upfield 40 yards and ensure the win? But they broke me. They broke me leading into the Lions game. I was a lot more sad because I think it was that close that we had the chance, and I didn't think it would be.
Yeah.
So following that game, you switch your sights to Lions Packers, and I had it on in the background. But Lions controlled it for the most. I mean, in the 2016 game, they kind of had it, right? Or am I crazy? Was it more back and forth than I'm letting on?
No.
The Lions
correct.
offense, Jared Goff did not play well, especially in the first half, and then he kind of turned it up. So in the first half, it didn't look very good for the Lions, I'd say. I don't think we had a touchdown. I think it was 6-9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
David
Yeah.
Chang had a touchdown.
So it was pretty rough offensively. But yeah.
Yeah, and that deep ball to JMO, I think Holding brought it back.
Yeah. Flea flicker.
It looked good though. He caught that and he was gone.
What a nutsy call. Was that 3rd and 1, right?
Yeah. I mean,
And a crucial part.
even in a game where you're fighting to ruin the Packers season, Dan Campbell did still come out and put his nuts on the table multiple times.
What he said early. He said early in an interview, he said, we're here to ruin their season. We're
Yeah.
going to make sure that they don't get in, which is the mentality not only every fan was having or
Not Ham.
supposed to be having, but this is what you want. You want the shift in the culture. You want that coach to want that win regardless of the pick.
Ham didn't give a fuck about that win.
I think he gave a little fuck.
By the time they won, he cared.
Yeah.
But
We got receipts.
going back to that flea flicker play on JMO, I think it was actually super impressive at how much space he gained in so little time from getting the ball. And then on the end zone, he was kind of wobbling on the sideline a little bit, but still stayed in bounds and created so much space between him and the defender. He's so fast, and that man wants the ball, and he can do things with the ball once he gets it. So I think as long as we make him happy next year, he's going to be really good. I think he needs the touches. Otherwise, he's going to be pissed, which isn't a great look. He's young. Maybe he'll mature a little bit into that. But I'm happy because every time he gets the ball, it's either 40 yards or a touchdown or both. Defensive Rookie of the Year, how can't you think it's Hutch? Um,
I can make
I'd
a
like,
counter argument.
yeah, and I'd like to see what it is because, I mean, he impacts every game that we play, not just not one big game, with a couple sacks or a pick, but every single game he gets a tackle for loss, a couple sacks, or he has so many tackles that are big and solo tackles and stuff. So I think he would be the defensive player of the year, honestly.
Oh yeah.
So
Defensive rookie of the year.
it's all right. So and I'm mostly playing devil's advocate. I think if Hutch won the award, I would not have an issue with it. I want to state that before I get into this. But and I don't want this to be about a narrative about like, oh, it's because he plays for a New York team. He's got the bigger name. This, that. No, it's when it comes down to it, Sauce Gardner, I think, has the better odds. I think he's expected to win it. And I get it. Hutch had more picks. He had a lot of sacks. He had a great season. And then any other year, it's Hutch by a mile. But Sauce Gardner might be a top 5 cornerback in the league right now, which is ridiculous to say for any rookie in their first season, top 5 position player. Micah Parsons.
You saw what he did to Tyreek Hill yesterday.
He's a guy who
He
goes
locked him up
and clamps a wide receiver 1 right now as a rookie. And I understand that it's tough to. Hutch has the stats. You can hand me a sheet of paper and say, look, this is what he did. Some people might not think Sauce is a top 5 cornerback. I'd like to talk to some people. I think it's a no-brainer. But the problem with cornerbacks is they get ranked off of like PBUs and picks a lot because it's something we can look at and quantify. How many interceptions? If you're a cornerback and you're the best cornerback in the league, you might have 0 picks because no one's throwing your direction ever. There's other factors, but I think Sauce Gardner's allowed 1 touchdown all season, and I think he's top 3 in the league in receiving yards allowed to opposing receivers. Those are ridiculous stats for a rookie cornerback, and I think it gives him the edge over the edge rusher. Hutch is going out there every play working towards a quantifiable stat. Sauce goes out there and might be lucky to get 1 stat per game if they're throwing his way, if it's a good enough throw for him to pick it off. You know? It's tough. If you're doing your job as a cornerback, the ball's not coming your way.
Honestly, I think a lot of rookies really showed out this year, not only on the Lions, obviously, with a lot defensively, but on every team.
Better class
I
than
think,
usual, it feels like.
Yeah. And I don't mean to throw any shade on this, Gnar, but we didn't see a lot of like rookie quarterbacks like we usually do. We usually watch them a little bit heavier than the defensive players and the wide receivers like Olave and Dotson. What was his name?
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. And I mean, they were just like making plays for their team and ultimately kind of like the best receivers on their team. So the rookies, I think, really showed out this year, and I think it's going to be fun going into next season knowing how good they are.
Would you be upset if Sauce Gardner wins it over Aiden Hutchinson? Would you think Aiden got robbed? I'm curious.
Robbed?
Yeah.
No, because Sauce is great.
Like
I think
I'd hope you'd be upset it's your guy not
great.
winning it, but
yeah, I mean, I want him to win. I think he deserves to win.
but
like you said, any other year he's gonna win this. But the fact that he's the stats that don't really count, I think you made a great argument with that. And maybe he doesn't have that many picks, but he's not getting thrown at because he has great coverage. So It makes sense, and he locks people down. I just think Hutch is just having an unreal year comparatively to previous rookie of the years.
It's unfortunate that sometimes there's 2 deserving candidates and some years there's 0. I am excited that it's First round quarterbacks haven't been great. Receivers have been winning fantasy football leagues and the NFL as of recent. Get yourself a big name in the first round, you start breaking the system. But yeah, Hutch had a great season. The stats are there. Like you said, it wasn't like he had a 4-sack game and that carried him through the year or anything. He was making impact plays every week, and that's really encouraging. I think Sauce Gardner can change a franchise because if you're in your first year in the NFL and your coach says go lock up Tyreek Hill and you do it, that's a testament. That's the like Micah Parsons tier of rookies. You already know this guy's going to change a franchise. I think Hutchinson is one tier below that to where you got a great rookie who you're going to get at least 5 solid years out of and then probably re-sign to a good contract. That makes sense. I'm not trying to knock on Hutch here.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see.
We'll see, for sure. Should be exciting. Like you said, a lot of young rookies. It's fun to see. We're seeing some of the guys from our childhood fall out of the NFL. Even in other leagues too. Like Steph Curry's getting old. And it threw me off guard the other day when I saw something. I'm like, oh shit. And I don't follow basketball like I used to anymore. Like in the NFL, I'm following these new guys come in. Same with baseball. But like in the NBA, like I'm like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Like, oh, he's 32. Oh, well. But yeah, it should be interesting. We won't spend a ton of time on this because it's kind of a gross game. National championship happened. Georgia absolutely slaughtered the Horned Frogs. With an 8-team playoff or 12-team or whatever they're going to change to, if it's agreed upon, if it's not already. I don't really know what the future is. Is or would a playoff expansion in the college football playoff, would that prevent scenarios like this happening again? That was a boring national championship game to watch.
Absolutely. The more competition, the better. Iron sharpens iron. Yeah, you're going to get an upset here or there, and that's a point of having a 16-team playoff, but it eliminates the probability of a team that had a great season. Don't want to take anything away from them, but they are just not on the same playing field talent-wise as Georgia will be, ever. And that's what you saw last night.
Train. Michigan lost a tough one to TCU. A couple mistakes that we could have fixed and gone our way and been in this game. Would the score have been that much more different? Is my question to you.
Absolutely not.
I asked Train.
Would the score have been different if Michigan was playing against
Georgia, Michigan, yeah. Or would it have been a repeat of last year?
I 100% promise you it would have been not nearly as bad as it was last night.
What
You
about
can't say that.
What about last year though? You think it would have been as bad as last year? A good like 49-7.
No, I can promise you that we would not have had the biggest blowout in bowl game history.
You got nuked by Georgia last year, and TCU beat you, 2 weeks ago? How can you say that?
I just did.
On grounds of actual knowledge. Or is that just pure emotion of being a Michigan fan?
Well, part of it is Ohio State almost beat Georgia. Should have beat Georgia. We beat them.
Ohio State. I guess in this
hindsight bias, TCU should have been.
If that's the only thing you want me to use, I'll use it.
TCU should have been bounced after losing to K-State. I know we're not supposed to punish teams for championship games. I think we talked about it a bit.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
But if you can't beat K-State, you're not going to beat Michigan. Well, not going to beat Ohio State.
Oh.
You're not going to beat Georgia.
Some timing there.
It just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I think. I don't know if Bama gets the nod either, but that was rough.
We definitely would have won.
That was rough to watch. It was boring game. I think I was watching it with Reen and the announcers. We were watching the Pat McAfee broadcast, but it just started the fourth quarter and there was 14:30 left, and they're showing Stetson Bennett and they're like, it's gotta feel good to be winning the national championship. And I was like, I understand there is literally zero chance they come back. I was like, but when was the last time you saw announcers like congratulating people on a national win at the beginning of the fourth quarter? It was ridiculous.
Jeez.
It was just tough to see. But hopefully a playoff expansion fixes that. We'll see. Gnar, I'll give you a little bit of time to talk about the Michigan State basketball game over the weekend.
I mean, it was pretty gross. Did you guys watch it?
The first half was gross, and then State kind of got a lead, and I kind of got distracted.
I did not watch it.
I mean, all this really comes down to is Hunter Dickinson. This guy's got a podcast with some barstool fuckheads, and one of them just talking about Tom Izzo and how he's Hitler. Seriously, that was a quote. That's a quote. He said he was Hitler. I'm not joking. I think his name's Dukes.
Dukes?
Yeah.
Oh.
He said Michigan State fans are the biggest pussies and crybabies, and they always have an excuse. And their head coach is basically Hitler. And then Dickinson goes on to explain. He's like, well, I think Michigan State fans are always crying and bitching about their team when they lose, especially to Michigan, is because they know we're so much better than them. You only go to Michigan State if you don't go to Michigan. How do you say that and get your ass kicked?
It's tough, yeah.
Like, Michigan was lucky to even be in that game. Dickinson looked awful.
They're not a good basketball team, but I think
it's a coaching problem.
Like, how? I mean, you can't really be happy, right, Gnar, as a State fan, only winning by 6. Like,
well,
I know as a Michigan
I don't think State's that good this year either, though.
They're good. Malik Hall, that was like his second or third game back. So
we're both unranked, man.
They're 11-4, and they're beating Wisconsin right now, and they're a 17th team in the country.
They might be good. I don't know. I think we're losing parity in college basketball.
The Izzo teams that are good in March are never, ever
That's
good
fair.
in January.
That's fair.
This team's going to turn up. Malik Hall is a dog.
I think that too. I think their losses are to some big schools, and
1 point loss to Gonzaga.
Michigan might not even.
Which
I don't
didn't
think
age well.
Michigan's not going to make the tournament.
We'd have to win the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, and that's just
whoa, really?
Well, I'm not saying that's just what we'd have to do to make the tournament.
What's their?
Because that's an automatic. It's an automatic berth. In the Big Ten or total?
Total.
Oh, I don't know. We're in the Big Ten. We're like 4-1, 3-1.
Yeah, I knew they were undefeated in the Big Ten.
I think we're like. What'd you say you were? 11-4. I don't know why, but 9-5 is sounding pretty good.
9-6, Michigan is.
Yeah, so now I was thinking before the state games. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you're not making the tournament. Well, even if they win out, it'd still be tough. But you got to win the Big Ten tournament to get in with that.
And they've only played 2 away games. Michigan has.
Yeah,
that's not good.
It's time. It's time to get Howard out.
That's what I was going to ask you, Bark. Is that the issue? What is the issue with him as coach?
I love his X's and O's. I do. I think he's a great X's and O's coach. What he struggles with is
it's controlling his emotions.
Well, yes. I don't like that it's continuing to happen. But he can't put the right guys on the court. He puts the most bizarre lineups out there. Like, it's... And then he gives them a good play, but they don't run it because he forgot to put out a guy who can handle the ball. Or he drew up a play for a shooter. Uh-oh, I don't have a shooter on the court. He just puts the craziest lineups out there, and he refuses to change them. Terrence Williams probably shouldn't play another minute for the rest of the season. He's bad, but he still starts. He still plays in a role that Juwan Howard uses to get open threes, and he can't hit them. The X's and O's are there. The recruiting is there. But he can't put the right guys on the court, and that's an incomplete coach to me. He can leave. He can go out of town for all I care. I'd rather have Beeline where I'm not even worried about recruiting, and then I worry about guys when Beeline makes them a little bit better. I'm also okay with losing Michigan basketball if our football team continues to make playoffs. I was okay with that dynamic as a kid. I can get back to it. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, I can't name you anybody on the Michigan basketball team from before maybe Trey Burke.
Really?
I mean, I remember Manny Harris because he was supposed to be a huge recruit, but he stunk. Um, I remember like Abdul Rahman, the guy with the pink shoes.
That dude played
Um,
for like 8 years, I felt
Glenn
like.
Robinson, maybe that's a name. Like I
Yep.
can pick some names out of there, but
Wow, so you're just a big football guy back in the day.
well,
I was the other way around.
that's what you were as a Michigan fan, and same with State. I mean, back then it was still a tough game between you guys, but it was just basketball season rolled around, and March Madness wasn't even really. I loved it. I made brackets, but Michigan was never in it. State was, but we were in the NIT like every year back then, so it just was unexciting. Like I don't know, and so I'm okay to go back to that if our football team continually makes playoffs. Um, I'm not confident on that though either. So give me a new coach, please and thank you.
Back into football.
Let's talk. Oh, sorry.
Coach Harbaugh,
Yep.
is he going somewhere?
I think Corum staying is going to help
is.
him stay.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah.
what you mean.
I think because Corum said he talked to Harbaugh and he was happy. The interview with the Broncos was a Zoom interview, just a Zoom call with Harbaugh. Their sights are set on Sean Payton. The Colts, I think they're gonna sign. I think they're gonna hire. I don't know who the Colts are gonna hire. They're a wild card. I know you don't want to hear this.
Didn't they interview both
Ben Johnson
Lions
and Aaron
coordinators?
Glenn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Maybe Aaron
That's
Glenn,
nuts.
but I don't see it happening. I think Ben Johnson goes to the Texans, but he can be picky, and I don't know how desirable of a job that is.
yeah.
The thing is, though, the Texans can float Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud in front of any offensive coordinator right now and give him a
Exactly.
shot. Texans are picking two now. They might get funky with the Bears just to move up and secure. I don't know if anyone's going to leap to get Bryce Young, so they might get him at 2. So that's the only reason I'm thinking Ben Johnson to the Texans. If he doesn't want it, like he can pick where he goes. So if he wants a quarterback, if he likes Bryce Young, that's where he's going to go is the Texans. If he likes a quarterback in this draft, he'll go to whatever team promises it to him. If a team promises it to him. So that's my take on the football, but I don't even remember the question. It's about Harbaugh. I don't know. I think he stays. I'm really frustrated that this keeps happening, though, and he doesn't just come out and say, they're just rumors, I'm staying at Michigan.
Yeah.
Everyone-
The fact that it continues every year is just like, dude, are you leaving? Like, now I don't give a fuck. Like, if you leave, you leave.
Either leave or sign a $10 million a year contract with Ward Manuel. I do think he needs a pay raise. There's coaches in the Big Ten who aren't as good as him making way more money. So pay the guy, even if it's maybe he doesn't need the money, but maybe he just needs his ego boosted a little bit, and that's fine. Our AD should nut up and pay the guy. But if you're not going to do that, then let him go. I don't know. I'm sick of it every season. It hurts recruiting every year. We say it doesn't. We get some early commits, and then guys start decommitting because we don't know where Harbaugh is going to go. And then he comes back, and we maybe get one or two of the guys back. But we're losing people because of it, and that's tough. Make a decision.
Good point.
I want to move on to the Red Wings. A
Yeah.
team that I was pumping encouragement into to the listeners. I was saying, stick with it. We got injuries. Trust the Yzer plan. This, that. We're approaching tank time in the NHL. Red Wings are in a potential spot to get Connor Bedard in the NHL draft. That's
Is he like that? He's a guy that's like a victor of NHL this year, right? Basically.
he might even be better than the victor of the NHL. Like
Oh,
he carried Canada to World Juniors. I think like in his first game back from juniors, he got like 4 goals and 2 assists. The kid's broken. and busts don't happen in NHL as much. The competition normally carries over pretty well. Like, they still happen, obviously. The guy who won a couple years ago, who I really wanted on the Lafreniere, he's been okay. He's not what they said he was going to be. Connor Bedard will likely be that. He's one of those, like, surefire quarterbacks coming into the draft that if you're number one and you need a quarterback, you get him. If you're not number one and you need a quarterback, you go get him. It's not like that Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. If he's there, we take him. Maybe we move up to 5. It's like, no, if you need a quarterback, you get to 1 and you pick him. It's not like that in hockey normally. There's not that much shifting for guys, but being in position to pick Bedard would be huge, and I hate to say it, but we're in tank season. Same with the Pistons.
Absolutely.
Duran looks solid. Ivy's struggling, but he's a scoring guard on a team that stinks, so it's tough. And the Tigers finally made a move. Traded Gregory Soto. He's been our all-star for the last couple of years. Every MLB team has to have a player in the all-star game. If you stink, they normally pluck a guy out of your bullpen. It happened to be our lefty who threw 100. A lot of people hate the trade.
Oh, no.
I love the trade. We got two guys who... You lost me?
That's not good.
What? You can't hear me?
Oh, it's not every day this happens.
Can you not hear me? Trent. I can see you guys, and I'm not frozen.
You are frozen on our screen.
Oh, you guys aren't frozen. I can see you and hear you just fine.
I don't know.
Are we frozen on his?
You guys are a little delayed, but we're still good in recording. It's picking up your... Oh, wait a second. Oh, no, it's picking up your audio too, dude.
You're frozen on me and ours screen.
We just got to keep going then.
I just see your big forehead.
If you can hear me on phone, we're good. We just got to keep going. This is all staying in. I'm not editing this.
Oh, he's back.
What? What are you talking?
He's back.
All right. Wait, when did you guys lose me? This isn't getting cut. This is staying in.
Eyes are playing, tank season, Tiger, Soto, bullpen, all-star.
Oh,
yeah.
That's incredible.
We didn't lose that much. So we get an all-star every year. It's Ben Soto, hard-throwing lefty. He can't throw strikes most of the time. So I'm fine that we got rid of him. We got back 2 guys who will likely be in our everyday lineups, taking up at-bats. What? What?
No. It's just funny that happened. Good carry on.
Dude, I never lost you guys. I never lost you guys for a second. Phil Maton's going to be dope. Matt Vierling's really fast, got some raw power. I'm starting to get excited for baseball, boys. I'm trusting Scott Harris. The season's rolling around. It should be fun. I've got other things we can jump into, but...
What's a realistic expectation for the Tigers?
How many
record-wise? Is 500 great?
500
is insane.
500's encouraging.
40 wins.
40 wins is way too low. If we got 40 wins, Train, we'd have to talk about my Tigers fandom.
How many games do they play a year?
162.
Holy, yeah, I bet they better get more than 40.
We want to get under 100 losses for sure. I'd like to finish at least 3rd in the division. But I'm going to get bold here. If Torkelson and Riley Green do what they're expected to be doing, could be a team that fights for a wild card spot. I don't know if the pitching is there, but we've got the names for the pitching to be there. We're a little shaken up right now, but things can go right and we can land a wild card. Things can go wrong and we have 100+ losses. This is not a team that wins the division. It's not a team that wins the first wild card slot. Things have to go right for us to win the wild card. But that's best case scenario. Worst case, I really don't want to be last in the division. If we get last in the division, that's a bad sign. It's a bad sign. That means something went so wrong, and it cannot be fixed.
Okay.
Do we want to do bets for Wild Card Weekend? Is that limiting ourselves with the amount of games, or do we still want to try a tease?
Either we do a tease or we just do 3 bets or 3 props. Props probably are pretty tough right now this early on in the week.
Anytime. Well, we can do a tease and anytime TDs if we want, or we can just take a spread and a tease.
I like the tease in the tub.
So just keep it
going.
Keep it going.
We gotta see if. Oh, did you
missed the tease last week? Thanks to Train.
Oh.
Gnar and I hit. I stayed 16-0 on the season.
You did say undefeated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the Rams plus 12 in a 3-point overtime game. We all finished the season 7-8 on touchdown scores, the regular season. So I finished 16-0 in the tees. Gnar 12-4, Train 11-5. And
we should have a punishment next year.
In all of those, like Gnar's 4 losses and Train's 5, there was each 1 loss in the teaser. We never had a teaser where there was 2 losses. So we were 7-9 on the season, 21-24 on prop bets for NFL. I'm gonna keep Money in the Bank rolling all season round. That's not just an NFL thing. That's sticking around. Right now, which hit? We're 5-2-1 on the season.
That's pretty good. That's a lot of units up.
And field goal ended at 3-2, I think.
Yeah, I want to apologize for that.
It's okay. We finished above 500.
It's something that I liked, and then I think I was only doing it on Barstool, and then one week I was gonna do it on Barstool Sportsbook, and it wasn't showing up, and then I kind of completely forgot about the whole thing. So, my bad.
So out of 6 games, you want to pick 3 for a tease?
I think it's.
Do you guys feel? Well, here's
this could kill my season.
It's also going to get contentious because there's a chance some of us go on both sides.
Chance.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, get the nice split ski though. Like if I took the Jags plus 6 and you took the Chargers plus 6,
you can't parlay that.
You can tease that, can't you? We've done it before. Or did we just have it in separate teases?
Separate teases.
Oh,
it was a ham tease where we did one ham. And...
Yeah. All right, well, I'll let you guys go first, and then I'll put my 16-0 on the line with whatever's remaining.
Or we could do if you don't want to do that, we could still continue. But if you want to have a regular season record and a playoff record, but I don't know. I think we just got to keep the records going.
Got to keep the records going.
Okay, but is this?
No, I'm not going to lose.
Week of teases because we're gonna have half the games next week.
Last week of teases. Yep, this is it.
Okay.
For the season. For the season.
All right. We'll think of something up for next week.
We will.
Sure.
What do you guys got this week for tease?
Seahawks. 16 points, easy.
A lot of points. Yep.
Easy.
Gnar took
football.
Gnar took the easy one.
Rookie quarterback in his first NFL playoff game. He's going to have to make mistakes against one of the best rookie defenders as well, and Tariq, and the diamond in the rough in this last year's NFL draft.
Yep.
You got an experienced coach, division rival. Should be a tough game.
Trent, are you flipping the script and taking the Dolphins in the points?
No, I am not. I'm kind of split between 2 right now. I'll see what you guys think, what you guys might like a little bit more. I want to go opposite of what you just said and maybe take the Bills at home in Buffalo against a struggling Dolphins team that doesn't have Tua.
Is he expected to play?
No,
I think
he's shut down.
There's brain issues.
I think that's a great pick then.
Yeah, I like that.
The other one was Tom Brady on Monday night against the Cowboys?
Ooh, well, he's at 3, right?
It's 2.5 on ESPN. I'm not sure what it is on the sports books, but I like both of those.
Me
So
too.
here's my proposal to you, Train. I was going to ask if Tua was playing, and if he wasn't, I was going to take the Bills. You want to take the Bucks and I'll take the Bills, or if you want the Bills, I'll figure out something else. I do not want the Bucks on my record though.
So you're not as confident in the Bucks as you are in the Bills.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, yes. I'm not as confident in the Bucks as I am the Bills. I still like that pick, but I'm not as confident. I think Dak sucks. I think Brady's back.
You can have
Ish.
the Bills. All right, what's up now?
What's up, Gnar? What's up? I got the Bills.
So you guys, I just want to make sure I'm thinking straight
Bills,
here.
Bucks, Seahawks.
Wait.
You guys spent
Wait.
10 minutes arguing about how Josh Allen hasn't proven himself. And you talked all this time about how Joe Burrow has.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's sitting at -7. You can take him down to -1, and you guys didn't even think about it.
Hey, nope. I was literally just about to pick him.
Okay.
The Bucks, they're scary. I think I'm gonna take them solo on Monday night. But then, yeah, I did look down and I did see the Bengals, and I don't think Lamar's playing, and just getting them to practically win.
Lamar's not playing still.
I mean, if it's at 7.5, I don't think he's playing.
I think it'd be more if Huntley was playing, though. I think it'd be in the almost 9-10 range if Huntley was confirmed starting. I think it's an in-betweener. I think it goes down to 4.5 or 5 if Lamar's confirmed.
Well, Lamar hasn't played in like 8 weeks, so how well is he going to play in Cincinnati?
Fresh legs.
On Sunday Night Football. Fresh. I mean, yeah, kind of, but he might have some rust.
So who you taking, Train? Who's in the tees?
I'm taking the Bengals, and probably.
I also love the Giants. Can we do all of them?
Dude.
You want to do a 6-team tease?
Yeah.
6-team tease for wild card. Call it quits.
Yes. Yes.
Actually,
I love that.
Here's my angst.
Here's my angst, he says.
I don't know what to do about this Jags game, man.
So let's go in chronological order. Let's start. Seahawks, 49ers. Do we agree we like Seahawks down
That was
16?
your first pick.
16 points. I like it.
16.
Yeah.
Okay,
16's a lot.
And then we got to pick them Saturday night. We'll all be together.
Let's pick that one last.
Okay. Sunday, 1 o'clock, we got Dolphins, Bills. Sounds like we're taking the Bills there.
Got to be the Bills. And let me
Giants,
explain myself on this one a bit. When I'm talking about quarterbacks who can't handle themselves in the playoffs, the wild card round is not a playoff game. It is. I understand that it is. My take is not that wild card games aren't playoff games. For quarterbacks who have playoff problems, wild card games don't matter. Josh Allen's going to walk all over the Dolphins. And then he's going to get shut down in the division round. Maybe the championship round. Probably the division round.
Well, yeah.
So Bills. Got to be the Bills.
All right. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Giants Vikings.
So they got that.
Are you buying the Kirk sucks?
They got that 4:30
not
slot,
buying?
which is what you wanted. He's not in the prime time. He's on the early game. It's not night. The problem is I have this spiritual connection to Daniel Jones. I can't get the man out of my head. Even if he has the worst game in the history, there's some part of me that kicks in. You're like, it's Danny Dimes, dude. He can do it. And it terrifies me. It does. Because I don't think Danny Dimes can do it. I really don't. And I say that with like 99% of my heart in it. But there's that like spark, that flame down there that's just keeping Daniel Jones in my mind. And I don't want to touch this, so I'll let you guys decide. I can't be unbiased.
I think it's the trap game. Everyone thinks the Vikings are as bad as the North made them look.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not the first game against the Packers, but other than that, the Vikings didn't look too great at the end of the season. Now they're at home, catching only 3 against the Giants, who I said at the end of the when they made the playoffs, I said they're frauds. So
Most
I think getting
fraudulent NFL playoff team for sure.
+3 on the second most fraudulent team in the playoffs, I'll take it.
You're taking we're taking the Giants.
I would
No,
take
no,
the
no, no, no.
Vikings.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
Vikings.
taking okay.
And this over-under is sitting at 48.5, and that sounds like a Vikings win more than it sounds like a Giants cover.
Yeah.
Giants aren't a shootout.
If the Giants win
Vikings-
this game, it's 20-16.
Yep, Vikings can put up points in a hurry. So with the over-under where it's at and the spread, I like taking the Vikings to +3.
So
agree.
we got Bungles, Vikings, Bills, Seahawks, and the Jags.
The Jags.
What about the Bucks Cowboys? What do we do there?
Were
And
you
the
guys hating
Bucks.
on my
And the
hating
Bucks.
Yeah, like,
My
Bucks-
phone wasn't
like
scrolled
Bucks.
all the way down.
Can't
Bucks,
bet against Tom Brady until he proves us right.
Bucks, Bungles.
No, we're talking about it.
Vikings.
We're talking about it. We're talking about it.
What?
Gotta talk a little bit about the
Gotta
Jags.
talk about the Jags game, Buck.
Bucks, Bungles, Vikings, Bills, Seahawks, Jags.
Yeah.
Tell us
Well,
why.
sell me on the Jags and I'll go Jags.
If you're
Yeah,
gonna
sell me.
if you're gonna give me 6 points, there's no way Trevor Lawrence is losing this game more than 6 points. Trevor Lawrence is that dude. He's got the hair, he's got the height, he's got the coach. We brought 3 guys in on new contracts to this offense. Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones. All 3 of them career high reception totals this year. 3 guys come into an offense, and each one of them sets a career record in receptions. That means you're unpredictable, you know what you're doing, and you got a franchise quarterback. There are things that scare me about the Jags, but in the same way I've been preaching as my past as a Lions fan, where I'm shaky because, when they beat the Jets train, was that the one when they were? Oh no, it was the Vikings. It was the Vikings game. When the Lions finally got favored over a game, you're like, wow, we're favorites. But it was like, that's when you get your hopes dashed. That was me in the Titans game. We didn't cover. I didn't think we were going to win. I think we got offensively outcoached. I think our defensive coordinator got spit on. I don't think Mike Williams is going to play. I think he's going to try. I think he's going to be an early exit. Our outside
What about
cornerbacks,
Bosa, too?
our offensive line has been real men lately. They've been handling their own. Trevor Lawrence has looked safe. He's looked comfortable. He's looked happy, and that swagger's back. If they blitz hard, we'll find Evan Ingram. If they don't, we'll find Kirk and Zay Jones. The defense is hefty. Trayvon's getting into his own. We'll have guys back. Josh Allen might be playoff Josh Allen. Chad Muma's looking good. Rayshon Jenkins is a machine. And Tyson Campbell started off the season as a 78 overall in Madden and is now upgraded all the way to an 82 overall, which is impressive in Madden ratings. He's been shut down. This Jags team is good. They beat the Chargers once. Not only did they beat them, they slaughtered them. They massacred them. This Jags team is better than this Chargers team. 38-10 when they played early in the season, when we weren't even sure what this team looked like, and now we know. We know Trev's the guy. We know he's here to stay. He knows he's here to stay. Give me 6 points, and I'll go sleep like a baby tonight. That's all I got.
How you feeling, Gnar? Did that make you feel a little bit better?
Yeah, and I mean, we watched this last week. Chargers playing a meaningless game, and they start everybody.
They couldn't win.
And they suffer injuries to Mike Williams, which is big, and I think more importantly is Bosa.
Love Bosa.
I don't think Bosa's going to play.
Yeah, I don't think Mike's gonna play.
I also
It was
want.
always the Jags.
I also want all of us rooting for the Jags on Saturday night in the house together. That was part of my reasoning.
I guarantee you, I'm betting on them just so I can be in it with you.
Yeah, Marine and I are wearing our jerseys on the slopes.
You
Train.
have to.
Trent, you cool with the Jags?
I'm cool with the Jags. I think I would. Yeah, I think it's ride. We got to ride. We can't just
We got to
like
ride.
God,
bet on the
the
Chargers and then
Jags.
watch them like with you guys. I think we have to. Like I think it's
Yes.
set in
That's
stone.
part
For,
of. He's
for the
that.
Fibs.
Oh, he's gonna be
For the
throwing seeds,
Vids.
dude. He's gonna be throwing seeds on Saturday, and you guys are gonna get to see it. I'm gonna get to point. I'm gonna get to go.
I
Look at
didn't see
that.
it
Look what he
Saturday.
just did. I remembered that Thursday night game about the Jets. I think we were like 2 minutes in, and Trev throws a dot to Zay Jones, and it just like bounces his chest plate and hits the ground. And Gnar goes, "What was that drop?" I'm like, "This is what I'm saying. It's a team that leads the league in drops, and the offense still looks electric. They're back. It was always the
So,
Jags."
I want to kind of go off. I mean, actually, let's cover what we have on the tees and one more time, and then I kind of want to go off on something quick, completely random. But so we got the Seahawks plus 16, Jags plus 6, Bills minus 3.5, Vikings plus 3, Bengals minus 1.5, and then the Bucks plus 8.5.
Bungles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bungles.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how that loses. I really don't.
Most people, I actually, you know what?
Is this your
Here's a-
is this your
This
other
is my
thing?
random
Okay.
tangent, yeah. Before we pick the, you guys can think of touchdown scores while I talk about this. But
Just
the
three.
Lions,
Just three tub scores.
right? Still just 3. I mean, we could
No,
do 6,
6.
but
No. No. Too many.
Lions fans that listen to this, we didn't really go over a lot. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose maybe a couple coaches. We're gonna lose some guys, but I think the culture. Maybe I've thought this before, but I think a different Lions team wouldn't have won that game on Sunday. I think it's definitely it's flip. You know, all roads lead to Detroit now. That's something Dan said at the end of that game, and I think we should be pretty happy with the way the season ended up, 8-2 in the last 10. We might lose Ben, we might lose him, and that sucks. But he's a great coach. If we get to keep him, watch out because I think we're definitely making the playoffs. Definitely improving our record. I think got to be pretty happy regardless if we didn't make the playoffs. Bark, your bet with comp, is that resolved or is that carrying over to next season?
It's up to him. I'll move it, but I'm happy to pay him the $20 on the head-to-head win. He was the one who said, "I thought we were gonna go double or nothing," and I was like, "No, dude, like you got the head-to-head." And he's like, "I didn't want it to end like that." So I'd roll it
What a good
over.
guy.
I'd roll it over.
There you go, comp. He's rolling it over.
I'm nervous about 12 wins next though, Nar. I'm not gonna back down. I can't. I won't. But I think we can still do 12. But it's gonna be a lot tougher now. Trent, I think Ben Johnson only leaves if one, he likes a quarterback and the Texans promise him that guy. Like that's the only scenario he'd leave, and then the only other scenario he'd leave is if he loves Derek Carr and if the Colts promise him Derek Carr. Those are the only two situations where I see him leaving. He's not going to go somewhere where he doesn't get a quarterback he likes, because I think he likes Goff. I think he likes this Lions offense.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he's confident that he can come back and still get offers the next year. Like he can wait, is what I'm saying. So I think those are two. He either gets to pick him in Houston, or he loves Derek Carr, and the Colts say, "Yeah, we'll get you Derek Carr." Those are the only two scenarios he leaves.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love that if he stayed. So happy to hear it. But I'm sure we'll talk about draft picks and who everybody's going to be drafting soon enough.
Soon.
So
We're running.
we'll
we
get
ran out
into
of
that
time
later.
a little while ago.
Oh no, I mean like in the next coming weeks we'll
yeah.
be talking about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But touchdown scores.
Mm-hmm.
I got one.
I got one.
I've got
Alright.
3.
3. Are we doing 6?
No,
Are we
I'm just saying.
10?
I was gonna let
That'd
you
be
guys.
5.
If you guys have your 2, let me hear them first, and then I'll decide what to do.
Go ahead, no.
Because I got a chalk,
Gabe
and then
Davis.
Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis.
Gabe
Playoff
Davis.
Gabe.
Playoff god.
Yep.
All right, Trent.
Oh, okay. Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, huh?
Oh, he had Jettas, I bet.
I did have Jettas. Jettas was on the board.
He had a quiet week last week. He might break out.
CMC was also someone I was flirting with. And then I had both Trevor Lawrence and Danny Dimes on my radar.
No, fuck no. We tried that last week.
We
Pick a skill player.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We tried it.
That's fine.
You know, both of them are going to score now. No.
I know. They will. They will. I like those. I think I'm going to take my CMC pick and be safe with it. Get one on the board for us nice and early.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence first touchdown score, though, on Saturday.
Well, I'll probably ride because I love it.
Yeah.
I might have to leave the hill early just to do it, too.
Yeah, you can do it on the hill, and then I'll just shoot you a text. I'll tell you when we're in the red zone. It'll be like real life red zone. All right, CMC, Gabe Davis, Dalvin Cook, Buccaneers, Bungles, Bills, Seahawks, Jaguars, and the Chiefs? No, who are the
Oh, jeez.
Chiefs have the bye week. Who's the sixth? Who am I missing?
Oh, bring it back up.
The Vikings. Vikings, Bungles, Bucks, Seahawks, Jags. I'm missing one again. Different one this time.
I got it, Buck. I got it. Seahawks, Jags, Bills.
Bills. I was missing the Bills
was
the
the
second
one,
time.
Bengals.
Bungles.
Bungles.
Buccaneers, Bungles, Vikings, Bills, Seahawks, Jaguars. Lock it in. Dalvin Cook, Gabe Davis, Christian McCaffrey. Lock it in for wildcard weekend. Until then, apologize for the long one again. We'll figure it out eventually. But now and always, fist it, boys.